a lot more efficient in trying to do what we do.
So would that be included in the reimbursable?
That is under your reimbursable, yes.
And that, it would just be our 1/3?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Pickens would
I'm
be
just,
paying.
I'm making notes and I want to make sure I'm getting my notes.
Yes, so Pickens would be the paying county, I believe, and I would bill a third like I do for myself and Kevin Miller and juvenile judges.
You know, Rob was telling me just the other day how he wished he could contribute more toward the law clerks.
More than us?
Tell Rob.
More than
Charlie
his
said that
third.
around here.
Be sure to let him know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'll let
You
you
volunteer
know.
to.
That's right.
But he'll probably say, well, that's strange, because when I talked to Charlie last, he said that, because Judge Freestone is here. And then Kevin's is also added here, the one that y'all approved last year. So if the figures below look a little bit high, that's because Kevin Miller, who's the chief of the county probation department, which again, his is split 3 ways.
Okay, so he's included here, he's
It's,
not included under,
He is, if you look down, it's probably 6 from the bottom, pretrial probation program. And that's where I put him, but if
Okay.
you want to move that to reimbursable.
no, that's perfect. I've got him, I had him separated out under our probation budget.
And so does Pickens, but I wasn't sure where you were putting him.
Okay.
So because that.
So that may be something that we can take, since I've already got it budgeted on the probation side, unless y'all prefer that it be
No,
there.
where are you gonna put it?
I may just take that out and move it over to the probation. Well, it's already in the
Yeah,
probation
Pickens
side.
has pulled it out of
Okay.
Superior completely,
Okay.
as well as Fannin,
Okay.
so.
All right.
So we're gonna remove
Move the,
that 27,509.
And the other increase is in the mental health court program. And we've been getting 10,000 from each county, we're asking for 13,000. And I'll tell you why. The mental health court participants, unlike the felony drug court participants, a lot of them, the mental health do not work. So cannot charge them a fee, of course, or if they may be drawing disability as a result of mental or emotional issues. So even though those who do work and can work, we do get fees from, it's not enough to offset the cash match that we need for the state grant. And frankly, they can't pay, but they're not in your jails and costs for prescription. So in a way, it's offsetting, but that was another change that we made this year. And then Angela asked me a question while we were sitting out there talking on the court-ordered payments of the SAP fund. And of course, that is money, I mean, that, it's in your budget, but that's, in other words, that's not tax money. That is money that is collected as a result of DUIs and drug charges. So looks like we spent about 60, close to 6,300 there. And usually that amount that comes out of there, I was talking to the sheriff outside, that is to help buy Alka-Seltzer sometimes for the sheriff's department if they request it, or the CHAMPS program, that's the program they have in the middle schools to help educate children not to use drugs. But again, that's not tax money, that is. And we try very hard not to spend a whole lot of it, just in case someday we need something bigger than that. So, and each month, more monies are put into that fund as we collect fines off DUIs and drug charges. That's pretty much the main differences there.
Yeah. There's a small increase to the Appalachian Children's Center that's Gilmer specific.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any other questions on it, so.
Okay, all right. What would you like to go to next, Sandy?
y'all do juvenile?
Juvenile. Yes. Okay.
I actually didn't have any questions on the juvenile.
Yeah, it went down a good bit, I think due to Gilmer's health care insurance decreasing. It went down significantly.
Well, and I didn't I don't see where we're at now on that.
Well, we were at, I think, around 230 for 19, and we're requesting 214.
Oh, I'm sure we can figure it out.
Well, I've got 237,
What
and it may be,
She put something,
let me see your, can I look at your book just one second, and then I'll tell you what our numbers. It, probably in personnel stuff.
Sandy, it may be me, y'all have to forgive me, I work with 3 CFOs and 3 counties,
No,
and I do it
okay.
3 different ways. So I'm trying to,
It's such a challenge, I realize, for you. That's-
Sandy.
No, my numbers are the same as yours,
Sandy and I do really well together.
so I'm kind of thinking maybe at the bottom on the addition,
Mhm.
because I've got the same numbers
Okay.
in as you do.
Okay,
You might just double check that, because I do it the lazy way and let my spreadsheet
Okay.
add it for me. You double check.
On the professional services court reporter, you only spent 15,000, but we're budgeting 32.
Hang on just a minute.
I've got the same numbers you do, so.
okay, I'll just
add those
redo,
numbers down through there to
I will,
make sure that they.
I'll redo that.
Joanne, would you ask your question again?
On the court reporter services, you only spent 15,000, but we're budgeting 32.
what is happening at this point in time, we have a lot of termination of parental rights cases going on. And all of the transcript, even though we've had the hearings that can last anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 days, the transcripts may have not all been prepared. So when those transcripts come back in, then it may increase that figure. But it's very difficult to estimate that because we don't necessarily know how many termination of parental rights cases that we'll have. And of course, those must be taken down by the court reporter because those will be appealed to the Court of Appeals.
So this is sort of just planning for worst case.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What's that,
And we hope we won't spend any more than 15,000,
Right.
but
Yeah, because that court reporter professional services line, that 32, that includes the court reporter, the part-time attorney, the interpreters, and also mediation.
It's
So,
not just court, it's
No, it's-
labeled court reporters, but
but
it's
it's-
not just court
it's
reporters.
professional services.
Yeah, but I think the question though is, why if we spend 15.4, we're budgeting 32? And and I think that's because we don't know and this is the worst case.
yes.
Yes, yes, and we're hoping that we won't spend 15 next year, but we never know.
We've had
It's
some,
very difficult.
we paid for some big transcripts.
And see, even though this ended June, you won't have all the transcripts in
Right.
yet.
No, and that's what I was gonna say too, that column includes through June 30th. So, and I know that just last week, just in the last couple of weeks, we've
Yeah,
had some
yeah,
pretty
Sandy
sizable
and I talked about that, there was some
court reporting.
big ones coming
Yes.
in, big invoices coming in.
But what we have been trying to do in juvenile court, even on termination hearings, is that Judge Wheeler is encouraging, and you think, how do you do a mediation on a termination? Well, we've done some, and they've been successful, so she's really pushing for the parties to come together, the facts, the parents, and everybody to come together and see if they can reach some type of agreement. And mediation is much cheaper than a 3 or 4 day termination hearing plus the transcripts. And those are, and of course, we don't determine how much we pay the court reporters, that's determined by the board of court reporters, and we have to pay whatever amounts they say the court reporters entitled to get per page and so forth.
Any other questions? Joanne, did you have any questions? Okay. All questions out there?
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned. No,
that doesn't mean this is approved.
Oh, I know. This is the,
This is the preliminary process.
this is the pleasant portion of it.
There you
Just
go,
have to
yeah.
answer a couple of questions and smile. and go back to
Hopefully,
work.
hopefully it won't have to
Right.
be too unpleasant.
Oh, I hope that y'all will, I sent out a save the date, and I hope you would, you remember a couple of years ago when we had the Supreme Court come up,
Yes.
and they
yes.
did their oral hearings here in Gilmer County, so Judge Sears is of course on the Court of Appeals now, and so she and Judge Barnes and Judge Brown are coming up to Gilmer County, Fannin County, October 18th, the Friday, and they're going to hear some oral cases in the Fannin County jury assembly room. So would love for all you guys to come. We're going to official invitation, but we said save the date. And they'll hear 3 cases up there, just like they'll be here in the Mid-Atlanta. So their staff will come up Thursday to make sure we got the microphones and all that stuff in place that they'll need to have, and public's invited. And just like we did before, we had like 10 students from Pickens, 10 from Gilmer, and 10 from Fannin. They'll be there, but we would certainly like you guys to attend. And on October 28th, we just confirmed today, Vic Reynolds, who's the new director of the GBI, is going to be our speaker for the DRC graduation. And that will be here in Gilmer County, and that is October 28th, and we'll start that day at 11, but you'll get an official invitation, so we're excited about those things.
When you mentioned the coming up and checking the microphones, it just made me think. We're still working on swapping out all the
Okay.
equipment in the courtrooms and in Gilmer, trying to coordinate with other counties, but all we can really talk about right now is Gilmer. There is an outfit, and I can email you the name of it,
Okay.
that what they do is they come in and they place equipment such that when an attorney, for instance, walks in, they hand him a device, and he can use that device then to project things on a projector, to all the things y'all do, whatever they are, through this little device.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
So,
Turns out that is just infinitely less expensive than all the other things we've been thinking about. And I was given an example that in the Gwinnett County Court that they use those. So I called Charlotte Nash up there, who is the chairman, commission chairman up there, and asked her about it. And she basically, I think, reading between the lines, wasn't that familiar with it. But she indicated that they've got a lot of courts, and some use this and some use that. But if you're familiar with that,
I am.
would something like that work for y'all if we equip this thing out such that?
I think that it would. And the reason I'm familiar with it is, my husband's a trial attorney, and he actually bought one to take with him in case his equipment was not working. And so we were trying to get it at home, and it's very easy to use. So certainly with the amount of money you would save, I certainly think we should
It's a
try.
tremendous
Get one or
amount of
two of those,
savings.
and let's try it before we spend all this other money on
Yeah.
IT things which may
Right.
become obsolete in 2 to 3 years.
What kind of training would it require the attorneys? That if you don't own one and don't, learn at home and know how to do it, but an attorney's just walking in and do it.
It's very
Pretty
simple.
easy?
Yeah. You could use it from your cell phone, actually.
Yeah. Joey, you had a question?
In fact, that's what David Clark wanted me to go on a field trip with him to Gwinnett County, because he had to do a case over there. And that's the one he was really impressed with. And
Yeah.
he wanted me to go over there, and he was gonna work out with
And Dave was the one that brought it
clerk of the
up.
court to give us a demo of how it worked, but that's,
And-
Gwinnett was what he wanted us to do.
And when I originally called Charlotte in Gwinnett, my objective was to try to get a field trip, so to speak, and let them kind of demonstrate it to me and all, but she did seem unfamiliar with it, so